Mission Bay Yacht Club 2018, November 3-4. The C2 fleet you can see is up ahead on a reach leg, and this is Chris, 8 years old, doing his first regatta. He's been sailing a year and a half already, and he's doing his first regatta. Normally an 8-year-old does not get progressed enough in our program to be able to go to races, and this kid is amazing. So first regatta. Goal of a first regatta for a Coronado Yacht Club kid is you must finish every race. We must do 3 regattas. We commit to 3 regattas before we're allowed to go to our first one. And using some borrowed equipment and just learning all about it. Oh, and there's boat 24's Logan doing his second regatta. Logan a little over trimmed on the main there, but not too bad. Great, Logan doing his second regatta. We're also looking for sail 24. Okay, so if you look out there, C2 fleeter winning the C2 race 1 on Saturday. Logan from Southwestern. Looks like the vang is too tight, but that's cool. 8904. Main is not all the way out. These kids are in first and second. So that's the difference between A fleet and C2 fleet, is you'll see the boats more perfect in the A fleet, and that's why we graduate up through the fleets kind of gradually. And Stella is there. Again, she's vang is too tight. I'm not sure how the boom vang gets on. I see overbend wrinkles in her main. That's my first clue. Can actually see the leech hooking, and she's having trouble keeping her main out in like 3rd place. You are on the outside right now. I would make a big head up all the way left across their bows and get inside of those 2 boats. Okay, here's Taylor in 24. First place is 9403 going there. 9405 is second. We don't get a lot of practice in this light stuff. We don't practice enough in this light stuff. When it's light, we need to practice this, being able to sail in this much wind. There's Chris again. Taylor doing well. The vang is on Taylor's boat. Okay, about 4 C3s have finished. That's about up to 6 now. And then this is race 1. 9405's next. 9484, there's Taylor right there. I'm not sure how we got so much vang on, but I can see it from here that his leech is very, very hooked, and he's got permanent wrinkles in his main, meaning that the vang is holding the boom down, causing those wrinkles. And in this flat wind, light wind, we don't want the sail so flat. So not sure what happened there. Got too much vang on, but he's making a huge gain right now. I think he's moving into 8th right now. His body position's good. He could be sitting forward another 4 inches, I bet. You can see his bow's up out of the water. In a Sabot, we want to press the bow down so that knuckle in the front is actually in the water. We want that. We don't want to be able to see the keel. You can see the keel under these bows. That means Logan, pretty good. The rake on this boat's a little messed up. I've got the bottom of the mast is a little bit too far back for Logan, but he's just generally trimming off the corner. That's his only mistake right now. So everybody needs to sit further forward. Everybody needs to pay a little more attention to where their mainsail is upwind. These are all upwind races today. Having fun? Okay, good job. Chris came around the leeward mark. He got slow for a minute, but he's on port tack. That's our goal at leeward marks, guys. A lot of the time is go on port tack for a while. Good job. Okay, here goes Chris, gonna finish the first race of his life here. Tack, Chris, you gotta cross the finish line. There it goes.
All right, Santiago, take a seat and
first finish of his life.
put the tour to one side and leave it there until the sail fills.
Just got a little too high on the wind there. There you go. Race 2.
Everybody, good start on 1. C3.
Race 2, that's a first place start right there. That's what we call jumping out at the start. Now what we do is we look at the water immediately. It looks light but pretty steady. Sorry guys, trying to drive, and so that looks pretty good. I'm just trying to make sure you don't get downwind, brother. This is just a picture of concentration. Looks really good. That boat's in bad air. I think one boat over here might be close to her because Sabot tacked so poorly, so she's gonna lose on the tack, but she has gotten a header. She gains in a header. If the wind goes left, she tacks onto the lifted port tack. She probably looks really light where she is. I think she should tack. She sailed out of the wind. And she hasn't eased her main. She's got to get her main eased out a little right now, though. That trim looked great for the puff she was in, but too tight for the light. Okay. Now she's got a puff. So right now she should be looking at the water. Good, seeing the puff and being ready to adjust for it.
You too, Enzo. Get up the line.
We react to puffs differently in different conditions. In these conditions, we let the puff hit. Hopefully it heals the boat just a little. And then maybe ease a tiny, tiny bit in the wind she's in right now, but not too much. If it was a little breezier, we get that puff. We'd ease, lean up, and click it back in. She's doing good. Her problem is that somebody is headed here. She's going that way, they're going that way, so somebody is not on the wind. The good news is she has great wind coming right from the mark. C3 start about to happen. Race 2 Saturday.
Less than 15 seconds.
There's boat number 24 in the middle, Taylor. He's been second, I think, in both the first 2 regattas of his life. Spring Gold Cup and SDYC Junior Invitational. And I told him to start in the middle, maybe towards the pin a little, and look where he is.
Great start, guys. Well done.
And then what we did with him is his vang was too tight on race 1, so we talked about that makes the sail too flat. It also makes the mainsail not go out downwind if you have vang on. It pulls the main in, trims it in like the main sheet a little. That should make sense. Okay, so that's a 3rd place start right there, buddy. Very good. Perfect body position. Just a little heel off the line, main trim perfect. Oh, the other thing is I showed him what a hooked leech looks like. First race he was trimming a little too tight, and I showed him what that looked like, and he just looks outstanding right there. Okay, I think Logan's probably having the most fun of anybody. He's just got about a 15th, and he was so darn excited sailing. He just loved it. That looks pretty good, buddy. Lee board's forward. We do have the cruiser model Sabot sail, so these Sabot sails are designed for our 60 to 70 pound kids. So these are extra flat, short on the leech, custom made Sabot sails. So these guys are doing quite well in this light air with a pretty flat board. And actually Logan's ahead of Taylor. Taylor's in bad air over there. Well, we'll see how it goes. Logan is just flying. Filming into the sun here, but there's Chris. Doing good. Attaboy. Looks like the wind's coming in on that side. Stella downwind. I have not been able to get to her downwind at regattas. The only comment about race 2 is you got your main too tight. Upwind in the light spots. Just burp that thing out. Especially when you're trying to accelerate. We ease a few inches. The boom pulls the traveler all the way to leeward as it goes out. And then we click it back into where it was or just shy of where it was. So just a little boned. Okay, so now you're in second. Your boom is not out. Her boom is just flat out, further out than yours. Ease the main. One thing we do off the wind, everybody, is we compare our boom angle to everybody else. And she is just 1/10 of a knot faster and her boom is a 1.5 feet further out. That's the only reason why. So one reason why we're slower downwind is we're not getting the main out. It's a very low reach. That's not a real reach. That's like a broad reach, that first leg. Chris needs to come down. His sail's luffing, and he's just not catching it. And he's heeling to windward. We don't want to heel to windward because it makes the sail flatter, and it makes the boom not stay out properly in this light wind. Here we are in second.
Okay.
And the problem downwind really is with the sail. It is quite an old sail. The leech is hooking all the time, even with the boom vang completely loose. But I got to get her sitting more in the middle. This is not a boat you can heel. This is not a sail we can heel to windward. but it's luffing. Just got to trim. That's why we're slower right now. Sail's luffing. But when heeling to windward, it's causing our leech to hook. And I got to work on this between races and find out why that sail is not filling. The boom vang's completely loose. Right now, I think we need to head up towards me and get more pressure. Yeah, she needs to sit in the boat. We're heeling to windward too much right now. The boom's not staying out. So that's what we're gonna do for next race. Sit, when the boom won't stay out by itself, you gotta move into the middle of the boat, not heel to windward any longer. Oh, there she goes. I think it has something to do with the mast. I think she has a problem with the mast not swiveling or something. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to... Okay, coming around in second. Obviously not a good downwind leg. I don't know why that sail will not fill. We've gotta figure this out. I'm gonna get in the boat and something with either sailing too low, a problem with the mast. We're gonna work on it. But you got around in second and you look good. Need to sit forward, doing a wheelie. One of the biggest things about a Sabot is if you drag the stern, you will be sailing at a B or C1 fleet level maximum if you sit 6 inches too far back. 8, you cannot be competitive in the A fleet ever sitting too far back until the bow starts to go down. The mine. Like, it's a bow down boat. Stern drag is like roller blades. You drag your heel to slow yourself down. That's what happens when your Sabot is dragging the stern. It's like dragging your heel on your deal. Okay, the other guy's tacked. Good job, Stella. Get a total clear lane. Try to accelerate. There, now you got to go now because you don't want them to get different wind. If these 3 boats get different wind, you're going to lose all 3 of them. What we're going to work with the entire team for race 3 is heeling to leeward more now. We're going to get our body position now, because up at the windward mark, boats were not moving because you just can't sail the boat perfectly flat because the sail will have no shape. You have to heel to leeward in some conditions just because you have no shape in the sail if you sail perfectly flat. Race 2 for C3, you guys, your mains are not far enough out here. Oh no, your mains are perfect. Nice work. Good, right next to each other. You guys are probably in about 9th or 10th. Good job, Chris, beating some boats this one. Looks perfect. Saturday, I don't know what race this is. This is B Fleet. There's Preston, looking outstanding. We might have a mast rake setting that's 1/2 a hole further back than this. So the bottom would move back towards you 1/2 a hole. That's probably your heavier setting. This is kind of your this might be your fast setting, who knows, but you're not going to change much from here. That looks really good. The main luffed a little too much on that tack, so make sure the sail's solid as you turn. The solid main pushes the back of the boat to leeward, so if you let your main out, that isn't going to push the back of the boat to leeward as much. There you go. Okay, here's Tommy. Just going a little too high, feathering too much. Not too bad on the trim. He sails with quite a bit of rake. His rake is probably a little further lower boom than Preston, a little bit. The only problem with lying down in your boat is you can't see the wind coming at you. You can't call tactics as well lying down. Lying down is fast. You look at your telltales very well because your head is naturally tilted that way. But you can't see the water very well. But there you go, look, sit up, nice work.